Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk about Food Wars Chapter 207, Bad Luck. I will first say apologies for the late upload. I'm doing my best. Whatever, let's talk about the chapter. So the chapter is largely just an introductory to the Shokugeki kind of chapter. It's just setting it up, just finding out what we're going to be using for the cooking, just get some banter out of the way, establish that what's going on, what are we going to be doing, and yeah. Pretty much that's the chapter. We don't really start any hardcore cooking. We only get the introduction to, oh, I forget her name, the soba girl. We just get her introduction of how she's gonna cook and like just that she is the real deal. She is legit in the world of soba. And we also get the answer in Soma. Just Soma's gonna be making the instant version of the meal. Totally appropriate with what his character is and what his style is about. Other than the cooking aspects of the thing, the chapter is really just character interactions and just establishing the atmosphere. There's a few gags, one revolving around the title of the chapter, Bad Luck, and there are a few interactions that are maybe a bit interesting, maybe a bit important. So let's talk about the gags first. So one of the big gags, of course, is that Soma pulled out the soba card, that's what they're dealing with, that's the ingredient he's using, and he's going up against the expert of that craft. As a zombie fills us in, that's the original craft, the way that she makes it. It's a very traditional way, it's passed down in her family, they are the experts. People kind of compare her to an artisan because it kind of just surpasses what cooking is and it becomes more of an art form in preparing it. So that was all pretty cool, and Soma getting that particular card, I don't know. I think for the narrative, for the long run, it's just making a very loud statement. Because at the very least, it's like, whoa, he was able to beat the girl whose whole thing is doing soba. And he was able to beat her on her own ground. It's just a really loud event, and it's sure to get some momentum for the rebels. Still, seeing how Nene was kind of just, you know, she was being awkward about it because she was like being really earnest and that she's pretty great at cooking. She's gonna be able to beat whatever Soma picks anyway. She's gonna be able to do it, and then finding out no, it's her specialty. Overall, it was very entertaining. That was pretty cute. It was pretty adorable. Another gag sort of that was happening was the whole thing with the cage. You know, that's inhumane. That's a bit excessive. People are being ridiculous. Putting people in a cage is a bit too much. But hey, when they win at the end of the day, it's all gonna be good. Everything's gonna be fine. People are gonna feel really stupid for putting them in a cage. And then, speaking of whether or not they win, Ishiki had his ideas of going to a farm. And you know what? I think that is a pretty good plan B. If things go south, at least they have a farm. I thought that was pretty good on Ishiki's part. Yeah, man, why not, right? But we know we might never have that future happen, so what can you do? Regardless, it was still a pretty funny gag on Ishiki's part. And now for any of the minor gags, well, Kuga did say that Nene was on her period, so that was pretty embarrassing for the girl. I think he went a little bit too far with that. And also her behavior when it comes to jeering, that she just doesn't seem to be fine with it at some points. Overall, it really was a pretty strong chapter when it came to introducing Nene and her general mannerisms, and seeing her being so awkward and embarrassed. You know, it's hard to see that person as a villain, and it really makes me wonder what exactly is she getting out of being in Central. What is it, like more perfection of her craft? Is that what she's getting out of that deal? Anyway, let's move into some of the more interesting little lines that were happening in the chapter. For instance, Kuga made he said something, right? He said that he was waiting for first seat, for Tsukasa to come in. So it seems that Kuga wants to go up against the first seat. Now, whether or not that's gonna work, it's tough to say. Like, truthfully, I feel it's more likely that if Kuga was to go and have a Shokugeki against the first seat, it's more likely that he would lose. And that might be one of the acceptable casualties of the regiment, the Shokugeki. Like, maybe it'll be just he'll be the one that is made an example. I could see that coming, and if that were to happen, I'd be okay with it. I'm not too invested in seeing Kuga win, and I think it'd be reasonable if he lost against the first seed at that point. Another point in the chapter was interesting was Ishiki, really the last page of the chapter, with Ishiki looking off to the side and Nene looking at Ishiki. I won't lie, I got kind of excited, mostly because that's the possibility of a ship right there. I'd be into it. Yeah, 6th seed and 7th seed. I'd be totally into that. Yeah, go for it, Ishiki. I think that'd be really cool. I'd love to see the relationship fleshed out a little bit more, but anyway, the bigger thing is, besides Nene taking notice of Ishiki, is that Ishiki is still standing off to the side while the Shokugeki has officially started. So this might be, you know, the Regiment de Cuisine's official rulings getting into play now. And by that I mean, this might be where we start seeing people working together. Which I'm pretty excited for, right? Because when you look at it, the odds that Soma by himself could stand up to someone who has more experience than him and is legitimately better than him, or is rewarded for being that good in general, you know, his odds just aren't that great. But now if we have the other seats getting in there and helping Soma out, it'll be pretty cool. And as we know, the thing with the Regiment of Shokugeki, it's a thing where the chefs act simultaneously as a chef and a sous chef. They have the freedom to do that. So I really want to see that happen. I want to see Ishiki get in there and help Soma out with his preparation. And I want to see Soma also get in there and help the other two who are in this competition with him. There's a pretty good chance that this is what their training revolved around when they were doing the 1 month training. I doubt that Soma could really improve his own cooking skills to an insane degree in the 1 month period, but if there was something that they could have improved, it was coordination and effort between team members. So I really want to see that. And you know, just as an aside, knowing that Subaru is there makes that conclusion a bit stronger, because Subaru is all about, you know, getting into the chef's headspace so that he can perfectly mimic whatever is going on with the chef. And we've seen Soma and Subaru work well before. So, you know, I'm really excited. I want to see the chefs working together, because that is going to be the most interesting thing as we're making these dishes. Anyways, you know, I think that's all I want to say about the chapter. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. I really liked it. So I'm going to end it there. Guys, let me know what you thought of the chapter down below. Let me know what you think of Nene, because I think she is the standout thing in this chapter, because she gets a lot of attention. And yeah, what do you think are going to be the results of the first round? I'm hoping for a sweeping victory for all of our rebels. So the first 3 guys are going to be knocked out. It's going to be pretty fun. I want to see that happen. So guys, let me know down below what you thought, and till next time, I hope you have a great day.